All right, I am here with Tamara Laing, and we are introducing the event we're doing on January 7th through 10th online called Resilience. It's a multi-layered healing event. Now, if you know Tamara, you know that she's been involved in the healing of many people and has written books on healing and and the multi-layered aspect of that. And so on Wednesday, January 7th, which we're just doing an hour, so just kind of lay out the schedule for people. It's noon to 1 Mountain Time on Wednesday, January 7th, as well as Thursday and Friday, and then we do an immersion day on Saturday. So, starting off the whole event, Tamara's going to guide us through the science of multi-layered healing. And this integrates various healing modalities to enhance the physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. But Tamara's been a student of this multi-layered healing for a while. So tell us, yeah,
Gosh,
some
over
tidbits.
20 years. I've been
Over 20.
studying this a long time.
And you're
Yes,
going to pull things from, is it Dr. Klinghardt?
yes. Dietrich Klinghardt, MD, as well as your wonderful book, Four Bodies, Four Medicines.
Thank you.
Such a
Yeah.
great book.
So what are the basic four bodies?
Well, whose language are we going to speak in here?
We
Dr.
could,
Klinghardt would call
I
it
know he has 5 layers.
physical. Yeah, he
How do
does
they
have five
coincide?
levels. Well, you both talk about the physical body as one of the levels, and then you call it the vital body or the energy body.
Mhm.
There's the mental body and the spiritual body.
The spiritual body or the quantum body.
Yes, quantum
Because
body. I love that name.
one, yes, one thing Tamara and I have in common is the quantum medicine world. So that leads us to day two, which is on Thursday, January 8th, where I will be speaking about frequency formulas, which are the quantum blueprint for wellness. Here's an example of a frequency formula that it's like tasteless, odorless, non-toxic, water-based, and informed with so much potential for it's like a library. It's kind of like a biofeedback in a bottle. And it carries, there's 16 different formulas that each carry a library of information to support the quantum body, which is the top-down approach to healing, to get the information and support the alignment with the solution, which shows up as physically being, stronger if that's like a spinal thing, like you stand taller, or shows up in your mental health as like you finally find that answer for your depression or you're anxiety free and you just realize. And it's so funny because I was just listening to a coach today that was like, you've got to be really clear about your intentions. And that's one of the things with this. She's like, if you just kind of throw it out there, like, hey, God, help me with this. And then it happens and you weren't like really clear and focused on it, you may just like walk on by, like, oh yeah, thanks, or maybe not even say thanks, but just realize when you look back at it, a lot of times when people are taking formulas, they realize, oh, I had this problem and now it's gone. And it's harder to connect the cause and effect, just like with prayer. Like people will pray for things and it'll get answered. And sometimes we don't spend a whole lot of time in gratitude and connecting the dots. It's like we just kind of move on. But if you go back and look at your life, you realize something changed. And so giving intention to it is powerful. And then, Tamara, do you want to talk a little bit about you'll also do a little component when you're talking about multi-layered healing with your favorite quantum tool. What would you say that is?
I love Bioscalar. It's amazing to discover this whole field of something that is not on the electromagnetic spectrum that we've recognized
Mm.
before. Yeah,
In
it's
fact, it
not
can
measured in.
heal some of that electromagnetic field pollution, right? It can actually compensate for it, which is one of the reasons we want to call this resilience is that we are living in a world like you see my pretty background with all the loveliness of nature. That is not what we are surrounded by. what we are surrounded by, if you could see it with your eyes, it is invisible typically, but it is harmful, right? I mean, the radiation that just comes from, like walking through a city, or, being around, I have sat, I don't brag about this anymore, but I have like 6 laptops and 3 desktops and 2 phones.
Yeah,
So sometimes I'm in a room where I have my desktop, 2 laptops, and 2 phones. And I can't imagine like what does that, look like in my, my electromagnetic arena.
right, right.
So bioscalar helps compensate or correct that. And then it also corrects damage that's been done on cellular levels, even, like what's a cool story?
Well, Dr. Sandra Rose Michaels has lots of stories about this and how we're all affected even by radiation. I mean, she
Mm-hmm.
talks about we're all compromised.
But it's protective, but it's also restorative.
Yes, scalar is restorative.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome. On day 3, we get to more cool tech. So that's on Friday, January 9th. We're calling it the Resilience Revolution. So here's the thing. We talk about the 4 bodies. Well, there are ways to support all 4 bodies. And what we want to do is support people to take care of the ones they love too. And, sometimes there's things that happen that are sad and tragic and could have been prevented. So what motivated me, it's in a 2-week time period at the end of November 2025, there were 7 people impacted by tragic car accidents. And I actually want to get some interviews with some of them because in each case, it was like, you want to talk about like something that transformed your life. Well, I would rather see people do something that up levels them and they, and take it head on and choose into it rather than life throwing them into it because it is the result of something like that is that it changes your life. So it motivates me to say, how do we be more proactive? How do we support our loved ones in ways that will protect them? And one of them is I've used a protection mantra for my car and my children's cars for years. And I praise God for it. And that's one of the things I'll be sharing. And so there are spiritual solutions that kind of go with the quantum and spiritual body, but there's physical solutions. And so Tamara is going to be talking about something you just wear right around your neck that kind of like, well, it creates a whole shield. It's a shielding tool, right?
Right.
And can keep you from getting sick. What are a couple other things it can do?
Oh, uh, well, it's like walking in, pure forest air or being like under a waterfall or
So
protecting
it creates this like,
environmental toxins and
wow. So it's like a bubble around you
yes, yes,
that's like clean air almost. So we're going to learn about that and several other things because we are going to talk about all 4 bodies having a protective layer and building resilience. So yeah, this is going to be like a revolution. And it's a thing that I feel passionate about sharing with people because if we can be in a mindset of resilience and proactive, protective layers of solutions and, actions in the world, I think we can protect things that we can't see, but also things we can. So we're
yes.
excited to see you at
Excited.
Resilience.
Yes. Join us.